I want to tell you a story about baby Jessica. This happened in Midland, Texas. It's a pretty small town, about 90,000 people live there. And this happened around 1984, 87. So the mom was kind of taking care of the kids as they played around outside, and one of the kids fell down a water well. No one's using that well, so it's just sitting there empty with no lid on it, grass all around it. And baby Jessica fell right down there. And she was about 18 months old at the time. And you could see her legs were kind of stuck awkwardly, one up and one down. The mom was only on the phone for a few minutes, and she turned around and looked and was like, where are all the kids? All the kids were standing around the water well, looking down, pointing down at baby Jessica. And so the mom ran over and she tried to grab her, but she couldn't. So she decided to go ahead and call 911, and everybody started gathering around, coming to see if they could grab her, but they could not get her out just by grabbing her. So they got some tools, they got some oxygen, a few lights. It was in October in the fall, so it was pretty cold, and it was starting to get pretty late as well as people started to gather around. They could hear her breathing and speaking, and the mom would come out and speak to her and make sure she was still alive, and they were listening to music and singing her music, while there was a team over they decided to dig a hole next to the well and go down that way. But it's a lot of rock. You know, Midland is famous for the oil in West Texas. So they couldn't it was hard. They struggled to get around most of the rock as they were digging. So many people didn't know where Midland, Texas was, but they know now because everyone in the world was trying to send some type of support, some help, some finances, some machinery to help dig through the rock. They had all kinds of things being donated. So finally they got through. They went down and then went straight across to connect to the well. So when they got through, they drilled a hole through the well on the side of the well and went through, and you could look up and see her feet dangling down. Well, one foot dangling. And it looked like if we tried to pull that foot, it really hurt her. She looked like she was in pain. And also her head was scrubbing against the side of the well. So they tried to use Vaseline to just make the transition smoother, lubricate it, and wiggle her out. But it didn't work either. So as the night went on, more and more people gathered. Finally, they ended up getting her out, and she was alive and breathing. The first thing they did was go to the hospital. She did lose a toe, and her forehead had some skin scraped off of it. Her toe was pretty black, but you know, she's fine now. And even today, she doesn't remember falling down there. She doesn't remember anything that happened. But they definitely did weld that well shut over it so no one else can fall down there. So that's what Midland, Texas is famous for. And if someone doesn't remember, I try to say, hey, you remember baby Jessica that fell down the well? Yeah, that's West Texas and Midland.